Hey everyone, today we are going to be making a delicious and hearty dish that is sure to satisfy your taste buds, Salisbury steak. Salisbury steak is a classic dish that is perfect for any occasion. Whether it's a family dinner or a special occasion, this dish is made up of seasoned ground beef patties cooked with a flavorful mushroom gravy. All right, let's get started. First, you want to grab some fresh parsley and go ahead and get that chopped up. You want to grab a mixing bowl and we're going to toss in that ground beef, and you're going to break up that ground beef so that it's easier to work with. Now, I don't know about you, but Salisbury steak remind me a lot of my childhood, but probably not for the reason you're thinking. Next, you're going to add those breadcrumbs. Worcestershire sauce. Eggs. Ketchup, Dijon mustard, parsley, and salt and pepper. Now in this video, I'm making a double batch because I'm cooking it as a main entree for a family gathering that I'm having. But the recipe in the description is for a single batch. We are also going to add about a teaspoon of mustard powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. I forgot to add those in at the beginning. Now let's mix everything together until it's well combined. Now usually what I'll do is go ahead and try to incorporate the ground meat for the most part with the ingredients, but then I'm telling you, the best mixer that you could ever have is your hands. Clean hands, just go in and mix everything up and it will mix very well. Let's divide the meat mixture up and start shaping some patties. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either do it the old-fashioned way, which is just grabbing a hunk of meat and just pressing it with your hands to form it into a ball and then flattening it out. I don't know about your family, but when I was a kid, you just did not eat out. You ate at home. I was raised by my grandparents, and my beautiful grandmother loved caring for her family. That was her portion in our family, and she took pride in making sure that we all had what we needed, and that included making delicious meals. So another way of creating those scrumdiddly-umptious Salisbury steak patties is using a patty maker. Now this is definitely gonna give you more consistent shapes, but honestly I feel like either way it is good. I kind of prefer the old-fashioned method, but since I was making it for a dinner for the whole family, I just went ahead and used the patty maker. Now, either way, you want to try to keep the thickness consistent, whether you use the hand patting method or you use some kind of patty maker. Just try to keep the thickness consistent. Now, you always want to make sure that you taste your meat before you begin to fry up all the patties, because you want to make sure it's seasoned properly, it has enough salt, it has enough pepper, or if it has too much of something, the only way to remedy that, of course, is to add more ground meat to it. But taste that meat before you begin to make the patties and serve it up to everybody. All right, now that we've had our little taste test and the meat is seasoned well, we're going to start cooking up our patties. So first we're going to heat up a little bit of oil, and I probably should have put, actually not probably, I should have put more oil in here, but that's okay. We added more after, but put some oil in a skillet over medium-high heat. We're going to add the patties that we want to cook to the skillet, and we're going to cook them on both sides until they're nicely browned and cooked through. Now, I know times have changed, but my grandfather did his part and worked bringing home income, and my grandmother did her part, taking care of the house and the kids, and my grandfather. Anywho, the only time we really ate out was on Sundays after church, and if you know that there was a certain spot that most would go for some delicious fried chicken after church. If you think you know the place I'm talking about, post it in the comments below. Now, the only other time that I remember eating fast food is an occasional Whataburger. Now, every now and then my grandmother would get a hankering for one and we'd get one. But back then, eating at a fast food restaurant was more of a treat than, it is today, where, it seems like most of the meals that we eat, because of our busy lifestyles and, just everything that's going on, a lot of our meals come from fast food restaurants or are processed rather than home cooked. Okay, now once you have all of your patties cooked up, you'll want to transfer them to another plate just to keep them warm. Now we're going to get started on that delicious mushroom gravy. We're going to use that same skillet, so don't pour out the oils that are left in the pan. To that pan, we're going to add our crate of sliced mushrooms. We're going to add onions to that pan and also garlic. Now you want to make sure that you're scraping up all those little brown bits that are on the bottom, because that is going to help add flavor to your mushroom gravy. And you're going to saute the mushrooms until they're a little brown and the onions are cooked down a bit. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll always get my most up-to-date videos. Now you're going to reduce the heat and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to the skillet, just in an open space. Once that butter is melted, you want to add the 2 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to cook that. We're going to kind of make, I think it's called a roux. Once your roux is browned, you're going to add the beef stock and begin to thicken up the sauce. my grandpa, or Pawpaw as we called him, loved to try new things. So when TV dinners became a popular thing back in the, well, I won't age myself, but back when they became a popular household staple, my grandfather wanted in on it too. So I remember him bringing home some banquet TV dinners. You know, back when they were in the aluminum trays and could only be prepared in the oven. So the TV dinner that my grandfather bought the most was the Salisbury steak dinner. And that's where I began my love for Salisbury steak. And when I was a kid, I could not stand eating meat, and I especially hated steak. And my grandmother loved to cook smothered steak, like cube steak, and I absolutely hated it. But when my grandfather started buying the Salisbury steak, I really, really liked that because the meat was very tender. So you'll enjoy it just the same. Once you've added in all of your beef stock, you're going to add in 1 package of Azure gravy mixture. And you're going to stir that in, minus the package. Now you're going to add in more Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. I added a little bit more pepper here, but of course you want to taste it for us and make sure it's seasoned properly. You're also going to add ground thyme and Dijon mustard, and then you're going to mix that. Now normally I would add the patties back into the gravy mixture and let it cook just a little bit more so everything can get incorporated, but because I'm cooking such a massive amount, I don't have a pan big enough for all of it, and so I'm not doing that here. But if you do it at home just for you and your family, you'll add those patties back to it, and that's it. So there you have it, folks, a delicious, hearty, classic Salisbury steak that is perfect for any occasion. Serve it up like I did with some mashed potatoes and some macaroni and cheese or green beans or whatever other sides you like. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And learned something new today. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.